And welcome all to the WyoNation Arizona Bowl pregame show. I am joined by Brad Reed as well as Shea today. How you doing, boys?
Ready to watch some football.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Best bowl game of the year, Barstool Sports.
There we go. I like it.
We're 1 year removed from meeting the Pardon My Take crew, so that was kind of cool.
That's true. So it looks like Brad and I last year had a great time, and it looks like this year the hordes of Wyoming fans are also having a great time. So that is good to see. But we are here to talk about this football game. We'll be kicking off in just about an hour. It will be streamed online via barstoolsports.com. Is that right, Brad? Is that the
Barstool.tv.
Barstool.tv. There we go. I knew Brad would have the exact website. And then it will also be on the CW network for those who do not want to go finding it on the interwebs. So you have two ways to watch the game. I'm in my yellow shirt today because the Pokes will be in yellow. And if you've seen, they look very sharp. They wore yellow last year, I do believe.
Yep.
So, the Pokes will be.
I have questions about the yellow jersey, though.
You have a question? Okay. Sure.
It's not really a question. It's more, we kind of play like ass every time we're in the yellow jerseys. Are we sure that was a good idea?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody's done a breakdown of our record.
It seems like we need some statistical analysis here on that.
Yeah.
Because we played in yellow last year in the bowl game and we lost.
Mm-hmm.
We played in yellow against Montana State and had to kick a last-second field goal or something like that to beat them.
Sure.
And I think we had the yellows out one other game, and I think it was like a near disaster.
Texas Tech.
Well, there we go. It's not a disaster. Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're 1-0 this year. Perfect.
That's right. So, of course, Wyoming will be playing Toledo. And so let's just talk big picture about these bowl season and college football in general. And then we'll get down into the matchup here. But I find the college bowl season ridiculous. And that was even before the transfer portal, because who decides their championship by, hey, we're going to finish the regular season. We'll see you in a month and we'll see what happens, right? I mean, you're taking a month off in between games.
I mean, that's what the FCS did too. It's been 3 weeks since it'll be almost 3 weeks between the semifinals and the championship. So
yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's a stupid way. So hopefully we'll find that. And so I guess the big thing with that is it makes bowl season hard because you don't know who's motivated to play, right? And especially with this transfer portal stuff, so far, quiet with Wyoming. But I will say that you're seeing a trend or a change in the trend. It seems now that players are playing their bowl games and then hitting the portal because it's a bad look to step out on your teammates. So we'll see how things look for Wyoming there. But just your guys' thoughts on those couple items.
I don't know if you saw this, but earlier in the week, Minnesota played their bowl game, and Minnesota got into a bowl game because there were not enough teams that qualified at 6-6 to make it to bowls. Sure. And so Minnesota made it at 5-7 by APR. Way of their APR being so high.
Yeah.
However, they had lost their top two quarterbacks already.
In the portal,
actually, they had lost all three of their quarterbacks already, either to the portal or graduation, whatever have you.
Yeah.
And so the third string quarterback, who still was with the team, but he graduated and was moving to Arizona with his fiance, Minnesota handed him a $30,000 check through the NIL collective to get him to come back and play one game, which they won. And so, that's what and if you watch a lot of these games, like Ohio State last night, they were without Marvin Harrison. They were without their quarterback McCord because he had already transferred to Syracuse. And so you're watching kind of a stripped down Ohio State team just, eventually get mauled by Missouri. Bowl games are still
Brad is
and fun.
Tripping out there. My dog is letting her presence be known. Sorry about that.
You're fine. Bowl games are still entertaining and fun, but watching stripped down teams, stripped down coaching staffs, like look at Oregon State, what happened against Notre Dame with them. They have no coaches.
No players.
Vince Henson was coaching them. And then a lot of their players had transferred already. Like Uyunglele had transferred. So, yeah, watching these stripped down teams play kind of sucks, but it's still football, so whatever.
Sure. Your thoughts, Shea?
I think it's good for the smaller programs, but the bigger programs, like Marvin Harrison, is just getting ready for the NFL. But then you look at guys like Josh Allen who are willing to go out there and play. And there's other guys, but Josh is just on our team. You look like even the kid from CSU. If they would have been in the bowl game, Torrey Horton's coming back for another year. I just think it takes probably the coaches of teams. And Toledo, lost their guy, and he probably got poached. Just call it what it is. The running back and the quarterback already got poached. And it is a bad look that they're not playing, and there's a good chance that they go to some other team and they don't ever play at all. I mean, Wyoming lost a linebacker to Missouri already. There's a chance he hasn't even played a down for Wyoming, and now he's going to go to Missouri and maybe not play a down there.
Sure. Yeah, but the good news so far is Wyoming has lost nobody they weren't expecting to lose who's playing. So Wyoming has a full team, and so that's the good news there. And they should have the motivation, right? Because we have Craig Bohl, his one last ride, last game as coach before Jay Savell takes the reins. So a lot of things are adding up here. As Shea said, Toledo's missing several starters on both sides of the ball. Wyoming has a full complement of players, as far as we know at this point in time. I've kept checking to see if there's any late news, but nothing. And so they should have all the motivation to send Craig Bohl out as a winner.
Hilariously, I was at the Montana Club last night for happy hour, and this guy comes walking by me, and he sees I've got the same hoodie on I did last night, and guy comes walking by me. He's like, "That's Wyoming, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that Craig Bohl guy, man, he was really good at North Dakota State." I was like, "Man, he hasn't been there in like 10 years." He's like, "Man, those teams in North Dakota State were so good." So we chatted for a few and whatever, and went about our business. But he'll be missed, that's for sure.
Yeah. Now that we've have the ability to look at the big picture here, we'll have time in the off season to talk about it, more of his legacy and stuff. But today is all about getting a win to send him out on top. And as I said, they have a good chance. 49 minutes to kick off here, and your line is just dropped. Oh no, sorry, it's up. It's raised. It's now to -5 for Wyoming. So we had an open. Wyoming was actually a dog coming into this on the opening spread with all of Toledo's defections. It has now flipped 8 points in total.
That's
the line.
Significant.
It's a big move, right? So Wyoming -5 on the spread, -192 on the money line. Your over/under is 44, that's a low number.
That seems low.
We'll see. So what do you boys expect to see today? I think it's going to be a lot like what we saw against Nevada and Hawaii. I kind of knew Bohl the rumors were out there, right? And I kind of thought once I saw how wide open, in quotes, the offense was those last two games, that maybe he was handing it up because the offense was a lot different than what we normally see, and I'd expect to see that today.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think we're going to see a much more open offense. Well, actually, that's really hard to tell too, because I think Polasek's already gone to NDSU. So I don't know who's running the offense today. If it's going to be Mike Grant or a combination of Mike and Gordy, and I don't know.
I heard a rumor it was Gordy, but it'd be nice to see Shannon Moore bring that ECU offense he was under when he played out. That was a monster offense.
So I'd imagine we'll see quickly based on who's up in the box. Now, granted, we may not because, Barstool may not actually be covering things like that. To the chagrin of some people, they may not care. But maybe they will. Maybe they'll surprise me. I don't know. Obviously, Brad and I didn't watch the broadcast last year because we were at the game. It's a different type of broadcast, which is fine because, bowl games are supposed to be fun. So,
yep. But
that is a great point. So you're hearing, Shea, that your rumor was that Gordy was going to be calling the plays.
That'd be a very interesting twist, I think. I think it'd be a good twist, but it would be interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see. He's normally on the sideline, so if we don't see him there, that's probably your first tell to see what's going on with that. So yeah, very interesting. So I guess that is the biggest change for Wyoming is Polasek not being there. So that does change the dynamic because as far as I know, nobody else on staff has called plays, at least at this level. They may have in high school or at a lower level. So that's really my only concern about the offense is how efficiently are they going to operate without having the OC there.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing to watch. The defense, I think, will just keep on keeping on as they always do. But yeah, the offense, if we see some odd play calling today, I guess we know.
They just keep the playbook from Nevada and Hawaii. I mean, just keep the same game plan. I can't imagine Toledo's defense is any better than those two defense. I mean, Hawaii's defense is actually pretty good.
I remember doing in our initial research, I think they're in the top 35 in the country in defense.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how many people they've lost on that side of the ball, right? If any.
Yeah.
So, that's the question. We don't know, right? We don't know until this minute who's going to show up and play. And it's kind of all over the place, right? You guys were mentioning like Ohio State was missing a ton of guys. They got beat by Missouri. Well, how about USC? They were without, I think, 23 players. And they still found a way to win. That's what I thought, right? They won their game against Louisville.
Oh, man. I actually didn't watch that game. I got busy doing something else.
Yeah, no Caleb Williams. They brought their backup quarterback in, and he was phenomenal.
Wow. Well, yeah, and then one of the other backups transferred too, so they lost two quarterbacks. So I don't know if he was the backup. Yeah, USC won 42-28 over a ranked team.
That's crazy.
With 23 missing players.
Wow. Plus, USC's defense has kind of been a mess too.
Oh, big time.
Under the old safety coach for Wyoming, Alex Grinch.
That's right. Yeah. He was the coach there. So, all right, we see there's people in the stream. Welcome on in. If you are on YouTube, you can interact with us in the chat box. Give us your predictions. We'll be doing ours here soon. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know. Thank you for joining us. We're just doing this quick talk. We won't go much longer so we can get ready for the game, but we will be doing a post game. I will tell you if we lose, it will be pretty well close after the final whistle, but if we win, we'll wait until after the trophy presentation because I think that trophy presentation could be pretty emotional. I think if we win and Coach Bowles getting that trophy one last time, I think we want everybody to be able to see that.
And we got to have celebration whiskeys, right?
Yes, we will.
Okay. Shea's got his.
We have another guest pundit. Does he have a prediction for the game?
Jameson, you got a prediction? Say go Pokes.
Well. Yeah. Okay. That works.
I like the beat data prediction better.
Smack dad around.
He's a Hokies fan like his mom. So
oh, that's all right.
So he's already got all the words to Enter Sandman memorized.
Yeah.
He could play the drums.
We took him to the game last year. We took him to the ODU Virginia Tech game. Jameson. Good night, son.
All right, let's hit some Twitter here to see if there's anything. Because warm-up should be started by now, so we should have, if there's any word on any kind of news.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
I think Wyoming's only without Barnett, and that was already pre-known. So
let's see, less than an hour. An idyllic winter day. Yeah, it's Tucson. There is no winter. Let's see here. Looks like it's pretty quiet. Peasley's warming up. He's going to be the starter. Shocking news, I know.
Yeah, I see Ryan Thorburn's got some video out there on the old Twitter machine with Peasley warming up. So.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Anything else? I'm just trying
to. I bet we see probably
news here.
I bet we see a pretty healthy Dessas Svoboda just today too.
I doubt it. I disagree
so?
with you. No, I disagree 100%.
Well, you're free
with Peasley's last game, they're not going to take snaps out of his. Makes no sense. Unless we're up by a lot of points, and then maybe, but
that could be possible too.
So yeah, it looks like we'll see. So warm-ups have started. We'll see if there's any news if they spot like a player not on the field or something. But so far, so good. Yeah, I guess any more general thoughts, boys, and then we'll go with our official predictions.
Yeah, just looking it up, Toledo's got the 28th ranked defense in the country, so
yeah,
they're not going to be slouches. That's for sure.
We'll see. Let me see how many people. Let me go Toledo transfer portal and get their entire list.
This is a time where like the defense. I mean, Air Force had a good defense, and Wyoming was there. I mean,
They were. Yeah.
it's always Wyoming's. Well, there's a lot of mistakes in the Air Force game, but Wyoming's offense, I don't think cares what defense they're looking at, because they put up yards with a backup quarterback, and that's not a knock on Evan because I think he's got a lot of talent. But against Texas, I mean, they had Texas on the ropes. They were moving the ball on Texas, so I don't. And nothing against the MAC, but they're not known for their top to bottom conferences. So
It's funny, but you mentioned that because Toledo's at 28, Bowling Green's at 27, and I think there was one other one in here. No, maybe that was Ohio's at number 4. So you got 3 MAC teams right there in the top 30, 4 in the top 30 actually, because Miami, Ohio is number 29. So,
Sure.
But Texas defense, they checked in at 27 this year. Air Force checked in at number 7. So the Cowboys have played a couple of pretty good defenses this year.
All right. Looking at their entire transfer portal, it doesn't look like they're missing too much. I'm trying to see if this guy even played. That's the problem, right? It's trying to find stats. They've only lost a safety on the defensive side of the ball, as far as I'm seeing. And that's the only guy, and I can't tell if he played or not. And their punter, perhaps, but he's probably a backup.
Punters
So
are
a
people
safety
too.
and a punter. Let me go to CFB stats and see if these guys have any stats here.
Yeah, Toledo was 58th in the country in rushing defense, giving up 147 a game.
Okay, so you could run on them, and we will, right? So that's good
Yep.
news. Let's go to Toledo here and look at their stats to see if these two guys actually played. And they already have some transfers coming in for next year, some Power 5 guys, right?
Oh, wow.
So that's what Wyoming has to do, right? The portal can help you. You can get guys like we saw it, right, with Ja'Cory Hawkins, a great example. Wasn't playing at Ole Miss, comes in here, day one starter, great player.
Yep.
And I think Savell will be more open to those things, and we'll have time to talk about that in the offseason. So let's go to defense here, or punting. See if this guy's punted. No. Okay, so backup punter, transferred, and then let's see if this other guy even played on defense. His name is Chris Gales. And it looks like he has no stats on the year.
Geez, Toledo checked in at 33 in the country in total offense, too.
So it looks like their entire defense is intact, barring injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, offensively, Wyoming should do pretty well, right? Because they're missing their 2 best players. But, again, Ohio had the same problem last year. Their backup came in and beat us.
Yep.
So, who knows? Who knows? But the motivation should be there to get Craig Bowl a win on his way out the door into retirement. So, all right. I guess unless anybody has anything else they'd like to talk about, I'm still checking Twitter to see if there's any type of news breaking late for y'all, but I don't see anything. Let's do one more thing, and then we'll do some predictions.
Yeah, I think we're clear to go.
Yep, still nothing new. Actually, just refresh. Let's see here. Let's see. The Cowgirls are beating Boise State 47-38 as they go into the 4th quarter. So there's some good news there for the Cowgirls in basketball.
Beat BYU the other night, too.
And, those are some cool hoodies. Oh, I like that. I got some. It looks like they might have some new hoodies for the bowl game here. They're brown with white sleeves, and then they got the Pistol Pete carrying a football on them.
Those are cool hoodies. I wish they had stuff available like that for the fans, like at the brown and gold or something like that.
All right, boys.
Huh?
We'll start with Shea here.
Do the apparel for NIL for that.
Oh,
You could pay into the NIFN with apparel like that.
that's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, donate $100 or probably more than that. But donate $250, get a hoodie.
Yeah.
They get a lot of people to donate for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Let's see if anybody's pinged us here. Nothing so far. All right, we'll start with Shea. Shea, No pressure, but what is your official prediction?
I'm gonna take the emotions today. Peasley's last game, just being a gamer. I'm gonna take Wyoming 31-3.
Whoa, a blowout.
Wow.
I'm taking a blowout.
And the under, too.
Yeah, and the under. I think Wyoming's defense is just gonna be ready to play, and Wyoming's offense is gonna come out to be like 2 games in a row wasn't a fluke.
Wow. All right.
All right, Brad.
Well, I'm gonna take the Cowboys here too, and I'm gonna go with more of a 38-25 type of score.
Okay.
How we get there, I don't know, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, with the over.
All right. Very good. Yeah, we'll go for the clean sweep. Again, the motivation should be there. That's the key. We don't know if Toledo's motivated at all. I think their defense will keep them in the game. I think we might have some problems early as we figure out what they're going to do on offense without their top guys in there. So I will take Wyoming 27-13. A comfortable win, but a little closer, a little more of a typical Wyoming score, 27-13 in favor of the Cowboys.
And it may take us a couple drives to figure out what we're even doing on offense, for that matter.
Sure.
So.
Yep, with a brand new person calling plays for the first time. Correct.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we have just about 35 minutes until kickoff. Again, you can watch it on the CW or on barstool.tv. We will be back in the postgame to break it all down for you. Hopefully, it will be a happy postgame. Again, if we lose, it'll be fairly soon after kickoff. But if we win, we will not start the show until after the trophy ceremony, which takes a while because they got to, wheel out the stage and all that good stuff. So just play it by ear, and we'll post it as soon as the final whistle goes on when we'll be going on. So for Brad and Shea, I am Chad Smith. Thank you for joining us on the pregame show. We will see you after the game.
Go Pokes.